Welcome back. Education and our schools, always a hot topic and certainly a consideration in this year's mayoral election with everything that is happening. Joining us this morning to talk about innovation in our schools is Assemblyman and mayoral candidate himself, Nathan Fletcher. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm still stuck on that 16-pound baby. That's like both of my boys put together.
Could you imagine?
No.
17-inch chest?
Oh my gosh. Oh man, what an amazing woman, I guess. Wow.
Hey, yourself and City Councilman Tony Young kind of getting involved in innovation in our area schools. Right. Can you talk about the program that you guys are putting together? Well,
what we did is a part of we're spending a whole year going out and talking to teachers and parents and trying to get a real understanding of education, what's working, what's not, and how we can help. And last month we chose to focus on innovation in our schools. The world has changed so dramatically in the last 40 to 50 years. The way we deliver education needs to change. And so we went to iHigh. It's an online public school in San Diego to take a look at what they're doing to suit students' unique needs. We also talked about different things. Why, in an era when my 3-year-old can unlock my iPhone and delete the apps, do we spend millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars a year on textbooks? What should the length of the school year be? Can we have a more dynamic K through 12, allow kids to advance faster or slower? So really trying to tap into this whole notion of innovation in our schools.
Too early to find out what you found, what you discovered?
No, we talked about a lot of things. I mean, we talked about the classroom is changing, and so the traditional classroom will work for a lot of the students, but for some of the students, they need an online type experience. One of the kids said, hey, I'm a professional athlete. He's a golfer, and in this way he can do his studies in schools. And so really rethinking the traditional classroom, rethinking the traditional way we evaluate students. You know, we're in a collaborative world where you have to work together in teams. But standardized testing doesn't measure that. When I was in the Marine Corps, we would measure your leadership skill, your teamwork ability. Is there a way to incorporate those types of things? So we're coming out with some really solid recommendations we can take forward.
You know, in June, the process of garnering support for the mayoral election began.
Right.
We're about a month and a half into it.
Right.
What happens behind the scenes for mayoral candidates as they are looking to be the next mayor of San Diego? What are you doing, for example?
Well, you spend a lot of time really going out and sharing your vision for the city. And it's a wonderful city. It's also a very big city. And so we have been doing events and meeting with people across the entire spectrum of San Diego, talking about our plan for having a candidate stop talking about where we've been. Let's talk about where we're going. How do we become the world's most innovative city? We talk about bringing a new generation of leadership, a new approach, turning the page on the past and starting fresh, focusing on jobs and the economy, focusing on education, and really reinventing the way our city government and city finances work. And so you do a lot of meetings, you meet with a lot of groups, you talk to a lot of folks, and I've been really humbled by the excitement and the energy in the first month and a half of our campaign, and ready to go the rest of the way.
Speaking of education, our Facebook question this morning is about the incoming SDSU president making $400,000 a year, $100,000 more than Steven Weber, Dr. Steven Weber made, at a time when there's deep cuts, when there's fewer classes, when the tuition's going up. How do we prevent things like that? How do we prevent that kind of I don't know what to say, but how do you prevent that kind of increase from happening?
Well, it's frustrating because when you look at, I don't know how you explain that to students who are seeing their tuition raised, who are seeing their services cut. We see abuses of this, and they pop up. It's not just the city of Bell or an isolated university, where you see these compensation packages that are really large. And if it's a private entity and a private enterprise, then that's fine. They can spend their money however they want. But when you're talking about public funds in a period of public deficits, when public services are being cut, I think leaders need to step forward and saying, hey, I want to be of service, but I'm willing to do it for less. I know legislators, we took a 26% cut in pay and benefits last year. We have no pension, not even a 401k. And we've reduced administrative operating expenses. And I think everyone at every level of government needs to do the exact same thing. And it's frustrating. I think the public doesn't understand.
So can it be prevented, or is it really up to the trustees and whatever is at the trustees' action?
Well, I mean, a lot of what happens in higher education is set by the Board of Regents for the UC system or by the trustees for the Cal State system. But I think there's a lot of tough questions that need to be asked, particularly as they go through the budgeting process with potentially raising student fees in terms of compensation and pay. And we want to attract and retain the very best for our universities, but there has to be a balance in doing what's fair for students and understanding the state faces difficult budget crisis and recruiting people that want to be of service, that say, hey, I'm willing to do something because it's public service, because it's for the greater good.
Any surprises in your early run for the mayor's race? Anything that you found?
There have been. Yeah? There's been a number of things. One surprise has been the number of people that said, hey, I've never been involved ever. And I'm excited about this race. I'm excited about where San Diego can go. You know, I'm ready to turn the page. It is time for a new generation of leaders. And these are everything from CEOs of biotech and high-tech companies to restaurant owners to just regular moms and dads who say we really see a great opportunity to put our city on a better path moving forward, and we want to be a part of it. And we're excited. We're blowing through all of our early goals and having to reassess that, and we're really geared up for a long and aggressive and energetic year.
All right, Assemblyman Nathan Fletcher, mayoral candidate. For more information on the education and innovation that he and Councilman Tony Young are bringing to our area schools, just go to san diego6.com, click on Hot Topics. Coming up